Okay, everyone, welcome. Hello and welcome to our Zones 33 and 34 and more Zoom call for today. Today is Monday, and this is our next to the last Zoom call in this series. Thank you all for checking in on the chat pane and letting us know where you're calling from and your Rotary Club. And a few of you also gave us your birthday month. So I saw Dale has a birthday this month, so happy birthday, Dale. Today we have a very, very special guest speaker. So in light of that, we do not have a cameo guest today. We wanted to give the entire program to our guest. So I'm going to turn everything over to Director-elect Peter Kyle, who will introduce today's program and our special guest. Peter.
Thank you, Stephanie, and good afternoon, everybody. It's my great honor and pleasure to introduce Rotary International President nominee Shekhar Mehta. Shekhar hails from Calcutta, India. He's only the fourth Indian Rotarian to reach the highest levels of Rotary. He joined Rotary in 1985. He has served as a director and on many, many committees. By profession, he's a chartered accountant, but he's really a businessman. And he has a number of very successful businesses, particularly in the real estate development area in India. He has chaired a number of high-profile Indian organizations, including the Rotary India Literacy Mission, the Rotary Foundation India, Rotary India Centennial Celebrations, and the Rotary India Humanity Foundation. What I really like about Shekhar, Shekhar is a doer. Many of us are talkers. My wife would say that I'm a prime example, but Shekhar is a doer. And I want to tell you some of the things that he has done in India because they are truly remarkable. So he led various initiatives. One involved constructing 500 homes for tsunami survivors in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands some years ago. He started the Shelter Kit program in India, which has served about 20 disasters, distributing more than 15,000 shelter kits, helping about 75,000 disaster victims. He started the Healing Little Hearts program, which has provided more than 2,500 heart surgeries for children throughout Asia and Africa. He conceptualized the Teach, a literacy program in India, which is an amazing project, reaching out to more than 50,000 schools and 15 million children. He was instrumental in setting up 15 eye hospitals across India, serving nearly 50,000 eye operations each year. He initiated a scholarship program called UDAN for marginalized children over the last 10 years, and over 1,000 scholarships have been given out. And finally, he directed a program initiated by the Prime Minister of India to provide over 6,000 rural toilets benefiting 30,000 people. Shekhar is the recipient of all the highest awards you can imagine in Rotary. He's a wonderful man. I've had the pleasure of working with him for a number of years. We are honored today to have Shekhar Mehta as our guest speaker. Shekhar, welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Peter. And good morning to everyone. It's really a pleasure for me to be amongst all of you, amongst many friends that I can see. Director Stephanie, Director David, I could not see, but I'm told he's here, should be here. I went to 3 or 4 frames, but I couldn't see him.
I'm here for you, sir.
Hi, David. How are you? Good to see Peter Kyle, my friend, the incoming director. It'll be a pleasure to serve on the board with Director Peter then. And the person who will be 2 years later the chairman of the Rotary Foundation, I see him here also, John Joe, my friend. It's absolutely a pleasure to see you, and also to see you, Nancy. Nancy Barbie and I have done about 15 to 20 projects many of those heart surgeries. Oh, I see Peter Verbeck also. Yes, Peter had come to Calcutta, and we did go and do some hands-on library projects. So there may be some other people also from this area, but I cannot see all of them. But I will have a look at all of you. Wonderful to be with you, all of you. I was here sometime back, maybe a month back, in a cameo role. First time I did a cameo role on a Rotary meeting, and it was interesting. And I shared this idea with many other people that we too could start such things. And that's the beauty about Rotary. We have such great ideas everywhere. There is every day a new thing to learn. Wherever you may be, there is always an opportunity to learn. And the matter of opportunity reminds me, one of the favorite topics I'm speaking nowadays is Rotarians, how beautifully they find opportunities in challenges. We are today in the most challenging times of our lives. Half the world was locked down for months. I mean, it's unimaginable. For 2 months, I did not get out of home. I'm sure so many of you did not get out of home. And now we are having to still learn to live with this virus. We all will have to be safe. We'll have to protect ourselves. We will have to be our own doctors and our own caretakers. We'll have to take care of ourselves. But even in such times, Rotarians have found ways to help other people. COVID-19 struck badly. In India, we were fortunate it wasn't so bad. Yet people turned out to serve like they have very rarely served. In just 2 months' time, they contributed $2 million, and that's a big amount in India, because a dollar is equal to $75 for us. They contributed $2 million, and that was just contribution to the Prime Minister's Fund, another $2 million of work. Sorry, $20 million, not $2 million. I'm so sorry. $20 million, and again $20 million of work that they did at the grassroots level. Just yesterday, I was at a district's program where they used to do a very ordinary program where they got thousands of children to come and do painting competitions. I just did paintings, and so they invited me to inaugurate it online. I said, okay, I'll go. When they said 6,000 children attended, so I said, okay, very good. So these were all children in Delhi. But yesterday, first time, because of necessity, they had to do it online. And when they did it online, there were 12,000 children participating from 22 countries in 5 continents. That's what I called opportunity in challenges. What an excellent example. I couldn't believe when I went there, and there's 22 countries children are participating. So that gave me a good thought. All our programs now, it'll become so easy to do them internationally. Something which is in the DNA of Rotarians. We love to do programs internationally. This lady, Nancy Barbie, she comes every year to India for giving polio drops. I mean, it's amazing. And each time she gets 20, 30, 40 people to India. I mean, you travel half the world just to give those polio drops, because you love the internationality of Rotary, apart from loving service. So here is our opportunity. The last survey, the recent survey that was done for Rotarians, it said that the reasons Rotarians like to be in Rotary or would like to join Rotary, the prospective people, it says is either to serve in the local community or next to serve internationally. While in India, you don't even have to look for opportunities for survey. I could do 5 projects in a day and it would still be less. And that's good for everyone. South Asia, even Africa, maybe some parts of South America is the same, but not necessarily the same in the US. You would find it hard to do programs and projects in your area. So the answer is internationality. You could do your programs and projects in Africa, in South America, anywhere in Asia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Philippines, anywhere. And then do not just leave it at that. I would suggest at a Zoom meeting like this, on a Zoom platform or any other platform, sorry, get the host country to show the project to all the people who are here. When you do a project where you are supporting heart surgeries in India, and I show you the picture of the child who's just come out of a heart surgery and is doing fine, I tell you, you'll get goosebumps sitting there. That sitting half the world, you've changed the life of one person. Imagine if anybody in our family got a hole in the heart, it'll pierce a hole in our hearts too. And here, for many years, each of my days started as soon as I got into the office, there would be one or the other child sitting there waiting for Rotary to help them in getting a heart surgery done. Sitting there, you would be able to see the 100 children who are today running, living only because you helped them. You would be able to see the happiness in people's eyes when you see that fresh drinking water to them is available out of bore wells that you have sunk in Africa. You've been doing that. I suggest next time also see what you are doing. You'll love it, absolutely. So friends, that is one thing that I would like to leave a thought with you. Use technology. We are using it for doing meetings. Next, let us do it for doing the projects also. If a Rotary Club in Delhi could do this, you could do a painting competition in Africa. Sitting right in your Rotary Club, you could do it in Africa. Yesterday's program was not a district program, it was a Rotary Club program. So you could tell the children to protect the environment there. They need to be told about water, sanitation, about healthcare. So all of these awareness programs you could create just sitting there. So that's one thought. The other is about membership. I was told to speak about the present state and the future. And that's exactly what bothers me tremendously is, oh, I see Harish also. Hi, Harish. Good to see you. So what bothers me a lot is for the last 20 years or more, we have been saying Rotary has a membership of 1.2 million. How about changing it to 1.3 million at least? Tough task if you have not done it for 20 years. How will we do it? But I am determined that we will move the needle and take it to 1.3 in the next 2 years. And I'll tell you how. I won't do it. You will do it. Very simple. But why have we not been? So many things have not been done till now. But we will all do it. All I want you to do is, in the next 2 years' time, 2 years, just get one member to Rotary. That's all. Just one member in 2 years. Tough ask, is it? So, okay, how many of us can do that? Very voluntary. I mean, nobody, it's no pressure, please. Okay, let me just move to a few frames and see. Please keep your hands raised, please. Let me have a look at this. I have a lot of witnesses, incoming directors, current directors. Oh God, I love this. I love this. Everybody. So I see nearly 126 people raising their hands. So Stephanie, we can easily take that there should be about 100 members possible here. So friends, what happens? We don't get these. We do this, but in fact, we do not get this double the number. We do not get. We do not even do 10% of it. I'll tell you why. Because we have a very weak follow-up system as far as membership is concerned. If I said, how many of you will give $5,000 to the Rotary Foundation? And imagine each of you raise your hands. I tell you, John Jum will ensure that by the end of next year, each one of you paid your $5,000. But there is nobody to ensure that you will get this one member that you have said you will get. So if I said in my club that I'm going to give $50,000, my club president will remind me, the assistant governor will remind me very politely, very nice. Hi, Shekhar, great. You said you'll give $50,000. You want to give it now? You will give it later. Then the district governor, after the governor, maybe the ARRFC, who's supposed to be looking after our district, and then the RRFC. And if there is a trustee, the trustee will tell. But if I said I'll get 10 members, nobody will even ask me ever. To me, I think our bigger problem is membership, not the foundation. Because foundations, we do amazing work. There has not been a single goal that we have set for foundation and not succeeded in it. And there has not been a single goal that we have set for membership and succeeded in it. We need to do something about it. Let there be a follow-up system. So we all mean to get that one member, but there needs to be a follow-up system. Probably our RCs, probably our membership committee chairs, ourselves also. Let's not leave it to the club president. I want my organization to move the needle. I want it to go to 1.3 million, so I will do what I have to. The other thing I would like to say is, have a look at the density of Rotarians in your population. I'll give you an example. Calcutta has 2,000 Rotarians. The population of Calcutta is 12 million. Even if the population were to be 0.001%, 0.01%, all we needed was 12,000 Rotarians. And I'm sure Calcutta can afford to have more than 12,000 Rotarians. But suddenly the mind thinks 2,000 is enough. There is so much possibility. We've never asked. We thought this was enough. I know of 50 big complexes in Calcutta itself, where there are condos, maybe 1,000 condos. Okay, this won't happen everywhere in the world. I'm just giving you one example. There will be 1,000 condos in one complex. All I need to do is find one person who's a friend of mine, and he or she will be so happy to start a Rotary club. And somebody coined a nice word for such Rotary clubs: walk to your club. Walk to your Rotary club. Just come down the elevator, go to there's going to be a community hall, do your meetings there. People are so happy to be there. Out of 1,200, you just need 50 of them, 60 of them, maybe 100 of them. These are just some thoughts. So have a look. At times, in smaller places where the population is less, the density is going to be higher, which is very good. But in the larger cities, often the density is much lower. So that's just an indicator that gives you an idea how many more Rotarians actually is possible, whereas we think we have just saturated there. The other thing, we've started at India, and I think I would like to share it with you, because you too would be able to do it now with this virtual world, which is now becoming the new normal. I love these Zoom meetings. Probably this is my 13th meeting today. And I'm not exaggerating, 13th meeting today. And this is no exception from yesterday or tomorrow. In any case, I have to do 1 or 2 meetings post 6 o'clock India time in the evening, because that's when the US time starts. So apart from that, in any case, the whole day goes into Zoom meetings. And what we have been able to do at India level is we've said that Rotary has a role in nation building. Now, that's a big statement. How can a Rotary club or a Rotarians in a country have a role in nation building really? But why just nation building? I mean, we have done work as far as building this world itself. Sorry. Imagine polio eradication is a process of building the health system in the world. I mean, which other organization can claim that we have eradicated a disease? Each year, somebody gets the Nobel Prize for medicine. Hats off to those people. But when removal of a disease comes, hats off to Rotary. So if we can do that, that inspired me. Why should we not take up large-scale projects in our country? And 6 years back, I said, okay, we will make India totally literate. A crazy idea, crazy thought, absolutely. But I said, so was polio eradication. And hats off to Klemdanov. May his soul rest in peace. The man had the courage to say, we will eradicate polio 35 years back. Did he ever think from his mind? No, he thought from his heart. Had he applied his mind, he wouldn't have had the courage to go up and say, we'll eradicate polio. Because after 35 years, even this year, there was a need to raise $2 billion for eradicating polio. So friends, we said we will do that. It was a crazy thought, but I'll tell you, just last week, again, finding opportunity in challenges. So there was a program which Peter mentioned, the TEACH program. One of them, TEACH is an acronym for teacher training, e-learning, adult literacy, child development, and happy schools. So it's a very comprehensive program for total literacy and quality education. So we said, okay, we want to change the very education system in India. The rural child does not get as good teachers as the urban child gets. So we want to remove that divide. And we also want technology to come to children's lives as far as studies are concerned. We had thought in the next 5.5 years, by the year 2025, we'll ensure every school in India has online teaching, either online or e-learning, where the child gets to see everything audiovisually in a classroom. Now, I studied solar eclipse on a black and white book. Here, the children will be able to see it audiovisually, listen to the sound. They can see the visuals, how the earth rotates, what's the position of the sun, the moon. Naturally, the comprehension is going to be much better. What we had thought we will do in 5.5 years, friends, with huge amount of money, lot of effort, just got completed in 5.5 weeks because of the pandemic. Children are right now at home for another 3 months. They will not be able to go to schools. So the government of India was frantically looking. In fact, the Prime Minister was looking for someone to have ready content, which is really good, and if the government could have it. Rotary was amongst the first responders. I wrote to the Prime Minister. He immediately got the machinery swinging. Last week, we signed an agreement with the government of India where from class 1 to 12, each day, starting 1st of July, when a child opens the television, the channel which is for his or her class, when they put it on, the first thing they'll see is the Rotary logo, because the content totally is being provided by Rotary. These are millions of children, 100 million children, more than that. They will all see this, and not now, for the next 10 years at least, till some other software will come up. Friends, and we are in all newspapers for the inauguration. The education minister came, the highest bureaucrats in the entire education department, everybody was there. It was watched by about, I think, 20,000 people, and across the world, not just in India, and it was all on Zoom. And the result was, the minister was gaga about Rotary. So what did we do? We helped build the education system in the nation. The other slogan I've been telling at my country is, we are in India ready to do 10% of the work of the government of India in selected areas. So there is water scarcity problem. They want to build watersheds. They want to build 100,000 watersheds in the next 5 years' time. Rotary in India says, all of us put together, the 38 districts and 160,000 Rotarians, we will build 10,000 watersheds out. Where will the money come from? You know, Gandhi had said a nice thing. He said, find the goal and the means will follow. And I absolutely believe in it. We have no clue where the money will come from, just as we had no clue where the e-learning money will come from. But I know this money will come. It has always come and it will come. If your cause is good, if you are sincere, and if you have a reputation like Rotary is behind you, 115-year organization, the money will come. My suggestion to you, how about you trying to build? America is built. How about building one nation in Africa? help them. Zone 33, 34 has the might enough, I tell you, to change the education system, the water availability, the sanitation system, the healthcare system in one country that you choose. And it's possible, I'm telling you. If it's possible for India, India is quite like 26 countries in Africa. That's the side India is. And if we can do it for India, it is possible for you definitely to do it for one country. You could come, 4 clubs can come, 4 zones could come together. If 2 zones cannot do it, 4 zones could come. Or you don't need to do everything. You may want to do just education. Friends, imagine how many more Rotarians would be attracted towards Rotary. When you go and say we are in the process of nation building, we just don't do any more projects and programs. And that's what I tell Rotarians. 100 years it's been, this year is the 100th year of Rotary in India. And the Rotarians have responded. They are gung-ho. They loved it. Never in the history of Rotary in India has the public image been so high for Rotary as it has been because of this pandemic. 10 topmost ministers of the government of India from the cabinet, whether it's the water minister, whether the sanitation minister, whether the health minister, whether the environment minister, everybody has come and spoken to the Rotarians. We have committed, this is what we are ready to do. They would love us, why not? If Rotary says we will do 10% of the work, if only they had 10 other organizations like us, the government wouldn't have to do much work. So friends, I would like to leave this thought. 115 years for an organization which has to its credit nearly eradicating pollution. We do big things. We can do even bigger things. Rather than scattered small programs, how about changing the very education system in a country? How about changing the sanitation system in another country? It's possible. Give it a thought. Friends, we are going through very strange times. And I must compliment Rotary for reacting, Rotary International to reacting to it so very well. Unfortunately, the convention had to be cancelled. But look, probably we'll have the largest ever convention this time. So like the king is dead, long live the king. There is no convention this year, but we will have the largest convention this year. That's what I call finding an opportunity in challenges. I must compliment President Mark. It was a tough call for him, but the timely decision he and the board took of not having the convention in person, it would not have been possible. But I look forward to this convention. And I'm sure most of you would like to. But what's going to be best probably is people who never got an opportunity to attend a convention this time will at least get a flavor, and in their bucket list they can tick mark, I attended a Rotary convention. And there will be tens of thousands who will be able to first time do this. So friends, another example of what was not physically possible, what was not possible in person would become possible. So I would like to leave this thought again, that try and think of utilizing these opportunities. I have given you some examples. You'll come out with far many more examples. And these are examples which are going to be the new normal. Every dark cloud has a silver lining. I find this dark cloud has given us so many silver linings. I look forward to an excellent and bright future of Rotary. I don't see the membership going down if we are careful about it. All we need to do is engage people, and engaging people on Zoom is far better. When a minister comes and listens to me, if I went to meet him, he would give me 5 minutes audience. But when he came here, he was with me for 2.5 hours, and heard me for 15 hours telling all the plans and programs of Rotary in India. That man goes impressed. He goes, he calls a press conference, he tells about Rotary. We aren't telling. So friends, this platform has great opportunity. Let's utilize it. Another aspect which I missed to tell you is I see a huge future. Stephanie and to Peter, Kyle and David and the others, I would like to say, let's have more e-clubs. E-clubs were not particularly very successful earlier, I would say. But now it is totally different. It's a paradigm shift altogether. These are e-meetings. I'm loving this meeting. I can see so many of you. I'm talking to people, not to just a screen. And I'm talking. I mean, if it's a blank screen, I do not even talk there. So here's an opportunity of each one bringing one. Secondly, looking at the density of Rotarians in the population. Thirdly, bringing technology into your meetings to become have world audience, participate in the world and do projects and programs around the world. And this time, the projects and programs be such that when a country is wanting to do a project, they call up either David Stowell or Peter Kyle or Stephanie. Can you help us in ensuring that we have better water facilities in our country? And you should be able to say, yes, we'll fix it. I think the time has come for us to think that big. It is possible. And if there is one country where it is possible, it is where you live, where you belong to. All the very best to you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure absolutely coming and speaking to you. Thank you very much.
President Nominee Shekhar, thank you so much for giving us time. You know, 13 Zoom calls in one day. I want to start taking the vitamins that you take because this is fun, but it's also exhausting. So thank you so much. I know this is the end of the day for you, and we appreciate you being with us. I'm going to ask Director David if he'll take a look at the chat pane and see if we have any questions for President Nominee Shekhar.
President Nominee
So Stephanie,
Shekhar.
one more call I have today. That's because, let me share this with you. Interesting stuff. Both my children were born today, 2 years apart.
Wow.
That's what is called planning, you know. So I have a call with them. So the day hasn't ended.
President Nominee Shekhar, it's so great to have you with us today and see you again. We look forward to your leadership in the coming years. And I don't see any questions in the comments bar, in the chat bar, but I do see a lot of happy birthday wishes to your family today. We're very honored.
Thank you.
Very honored, very humble to have you with us. And we're grateful that you're leading our organization in a couple of years. And I guess, Stephanie, that's back to you, not seeing any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, David. I just want to remind folks on the call that next Monday will be our very last call for this Rotary year for this series. And we hope that you will join us because it's going to feature 3 very special cameo speakers, David, Stephanie, and Peter. You won't want to miss this call. So how much do you really know about your directors? Some of you might know too much, but in general, how much do you know? This meeting is going to be interactive, it will be fun, it will be informative, and it will include a passing of the gavel. So please mark your calendars and join us next Monday at noon. And now, as is customary, please mute yourselves and join David, Peter, and me as we recite the 4-way test. Of all the things we think, say, or do, number 1, is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Number 3,
Will build goodwill and better friendships.
Should be beneficial to
number
all.
4,
Be beneficial
to all concerned. Thank you all for participating today. Have a great rest of the day and hope to see many of you, if not all of you, again next Monday.